6:44 is your time, and it's time for News to Go.
We begin with a developing story out of Cherokee County where a high school student was killed in Gaffney. 17-year-old Jamilton Fair Jr. was killed right outside his home yesterday morning, moments before getting on the school bus.
Our Naomi Pope has been following this story. Naomi, what are county leaders saying?
Yeah, as it stands, Destiny and Aaron, no arrests have been made. That's the latest piece of information that we have. The last we heard from them was a press conference that was held yesterday between the Gaffney Police Department and the Cherokee County School District. So as it stands, no arrests have been made in this story just yet. We're closely following it, though, and tracking it to see if we can learn any new information. We do have video. I want to show you the scene yesterday of family members, community members, all lining the streets after this tragic incident unfolded right between their eyes there. 15 students on the school bus witnessing this tragic shooting firsthand. Now, when we arrived, the coroner and immediate family were still on scene. This is what authorities say happened. Fair Jr. walked from his apartment just across the street from the bus stop at around 6:50 yesterday morning when a man approached and shot him. Officials pronounced Fair dead at the scene and were told video surveillance cameras showed the shooter run to a waiting vehicle driven by another person right after the shooting happened. Again, that's all according to Cherokee County Coroner Dennis Fowler. Many lifelong residents of this community now calling for change and the end of gun violence in their own community.
Because how are you going to raise children in this world and you can't send them to school? You know, growing up, I was always taught to use our words, you know, like communicate what's going on and what's the issue here. But I feel like nobody nowadays, they just want to react more than to communicate and say, hey, what's wrong? Hey, what can we do better about this? Stuff like that. And I don't feel like this generation, they don't have that.
The Department of Child Fatalities under the South Carolina Law Enforcement Special Victims Unit conducts investigations on all deaths in the state of children under the age of 18 that are a result of violence. They were requested yesterday morning and are assisting in this investigation. That's an important note. I was told by members of Fair's family that he was a senior set to graduate and was expecting to be a father soon with a baby on the way. Right now, as mentioned, no one has been arrested in connection to this incident.
Well, Naomi, as for the school district, what resources do they have for students and what changes have been put in place for security?
Yeah, Destiny, good question. So we're told by the police department that they've increased personnel and I believe resource officers and other matters of law enforcement in and around the schools that were impacted by this. They're also providing resources and counseling for students and faculty this week and into next week if needed. Live here in Gaffney, I'm Naomi Pope, WYFF News 4.
We're tracking some breaking news out of Anderson County, as well as some crashes we're watching clear out in Spartanburg County. Starting off here right at Clemson Boulevard, I-85. We're taking a look at those northbound lanes, southbound lanes in the clear. As you can see, there are first responders on the scene, a couple of police vehicles and an ambulance responding to this crash that we've watched happen throughout the past half hour or so. DOT is reporting that the right lane is blocked as of right now, so something to keep in mind if you are heading that way. I'm not seeing any slowdowns, though, in terms of travel throughout the area. As you can see, that's a lot of green. However, just something to be aware of. Be courteous as you head out the door. Now, we did watch some crashes clear up. These were happening along I-85 in those southbound lanes right at 290, and then just another one about a mile or so from there. They have been cleared, so they are off those main parts of the road. However, definitely seeing that back up there in those southbound lanes. So something to keep in mind if you are traveling southbound out of Spartanburg towards Greenville this morning. Give yourself a little extra time because you might be seeing some pockets of slowdown. Taking a look at those travel times, though, throughout the rest of our area, 2685, 385 in the green. Aaron?
Leah, thank you. U.S. Representative Sherry Biggs is weighing in on the upcoming runoff election. She told us about how much is at stake with the Senate seat vacant when it comes to voter participation. About 11% of registered voters cast a ballot in the South Carolina special Republican primary, though there were limits on who could vote. Now she's asking people to rally around issues that matter.
A lot of people, I think, maybe chalk it up like I'm only one person. But I got to tell you, personally, I had a burden to be that one person that could possibly make a difference. And I think as a mom And the older I get, the more I realize that our freedoms aren't free. And as President Reagan said, we are just one generation from losing our freedoms. It's so important that everybody have a say and take part and understand what's at risk.
Congresswoman Biggs also said a trend points to senators staying in office for years, so she says this election in November is imperative. The ongoing discussion comes ahead of our big event next week, Salute to Liberty in Anderson. We'll have more from Representative Biggs tonight at 11. And a reminder for you this morning, early voting for the special runoff election is next week. It's Wednesday, August 19th through Friday, August 21st, and then the runoff will be held on August 25th. Important note, though, you're only eligible to vote if you voted in the June Republican primary or didn't vote at all. Then the general election takes place on Tuesday, November 3rd. Victoria?
And we're starting off in the 70s this morning, but as we head through the afternoon, teachers, listen up. If you work outdoors, listen up. We have a heat advisory in place for Elbert County, Hart County, Abbeville, Greenwood. This is for feel-like temperatures near 107. Even if you're out of this heat advisory for the rest of the upstate, feel-like temperatures will hit 100 to 101 in some areas. Up near Spartanburg, Greenville will be near 103, Lawrence 104. Now, Western North Carolina will be in the upper 90s. It is a very hot afternoon, and we'll continue to stay hot and even hotter over the next few days. I know a lot of sporting events have already been canceled due to this. So this will continue throughout the afternoon, hotter and hotter each and every day. This is Friday. Look at Saturday. Feel like temperatures at 111 at times. By 5, we'll drop towards 109. It is still brutal heat, even heading in towards sunset. Not much rain in the forecast to cool us off. Now, the rain that does develop will be heavy at times and isolated throughout the afternoon and early evening hours with some gusty winds. We'll take one more look at your 4-day plus coming up here in just a couple minutes. Aaron.
Victoria, thank you. A new program in Greensboro, North Carolina is letting drivers pay their parking tickets by donating school supplies. Originally a collaboration between Shift Ed and Greensboro Parking Enforcement, Greensboro Police took over last year, collecting over $6,000 in school supplies. This year, all the supplies can be found in a warehouse where teachers can then shop for those school supplies for free. Police say this year they've had 7 parking tickets paid off.
Meanwhile, today is the last day to help students in Simpsonville. The Simpsonville Police Department is partnering with Greenville County Schools by collecting school supply donations for grades K through 12 for their Back to School Backpack program, which ends today. You can drop items off at the police department on Curtis Street or at their booth during the Spark Fest block party tonight from 5 to 9 p.m.
New this morning, Greenville City and county leaders are expected to give an overview on the state of Greenville today. The Greenville Chamber is hosting the breakfast and the presentation this morning, and leaders in the area, including from County Council and also Mayor Knox White, are set to outline economic trends, priorities, and initiatives they say are shaping the area and the upstate. More than 250 business and community representatives from the area are expected to attend.
Habitat for Humanity of Anderson County is celebrating 40 years today, and you can join the party. There's a drop-in celebration at the Habitat Restore on South Murray Avenue from 9 this morning to 5 o'clock. There will be food, games, and prizes. The celebration doesn't stop there. After visiting Restore, you can see the ongoing construction of their 100th Habitat home.